The 2016 Sprint Unlimited at Daytona was a NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race held on February 13, 2016, at Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. Contested over 75 laps. It was the first exhibition race of the 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season. Report. Background. The track, Daytona International Speedway, is one of 6 superspeedways to hold NASCAR races, the others being Michigan International Speedway, Auto Club Speedway, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Pocono Raceway and Talladega Superspeedway. Format and eligibility. The race is 75 laps in length, and is divided into 2 segments. The first is 25 laps, and the second is 50 laps. The race is open to those drivers who won a pole in the 2015 season or had won the Sprint Unlimited previously. Entry list. The entry list for the Sprint Unlimited was released on Friday, February 12 at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time. 25 drivers are entered for the race. Tony Stewart was slated to run the Sprint Unlimited, but after suffering a burst fracture of his L1 vertebra, Brian Vickers drove in his place. Starting lineup. Practice. First practice. Kyle Larson was the fastest in the first practice session with a time of 45:148 and a speed of 199.344 miles per hour. Final practice. Denny Hamlin was the fastest in the final practice session with a time of 45:242 and a speed of 198.930 miles per hour. Race. First half. Start. Under a clear Florida night sky, Jimmie Johnson led the field to the green flag at 8:35 p.m. Brad Keselowski used a push from the outside line to lead the first lap. After 5 laps, the field settled into a single line until Jamie McMurray went under Casey Mears in turn 3 to move up to 4th. Eventually, Keselowski found himself working the top and bottom line to maintain the lead. Unfortunately, he had to drag the brake to let McMurray pass him going into 3 to get a piece of debris off the grille of his car. This gambit failed and fell back to 15th. The first caution of the race flew on lap 13 for a 2-car wreck in turn 2. Rounding the turn, Ricky Stenhouse, Jr., suffered a right rear tire blowout and spun down into the side of Denny Hamlin. The front half of the field opted to stay out while the back half opted to pit. Second quarter. The race restarted on lap 18. McMurray got a jump on the field, but was swallowed up and passed by teammate Kyle Larson. He was, however, able to hold the lead and pull in front of his teammate on the backstretch. The second caution of the race flew on lap 23 for a multi-car wreck in turn 1. Going into the turn, Brian Vickers suffered a right rear tire blowout, hit the side of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car and ripped the side of his car off. Turned back up the track, hit teammate Kevin Harvick, slammed the wall, slid back down the track and clipped Clint Bowyer. Hamlin opted not to pit and assumed the lead. Second half. Halfway. The race restarted on lap 30. Hamlin took command of the field and moved ahead of the No. 2 car. Eventually, Keselowski moved by him coming to the line and took the lead on lap 34. Hamlin shot ahead of Keselowski on the backstretch to take the lead back the next lap. Keselowski used a push from teammate Joey Logano to retake the lead on lap 37. Just like his first stint in the lead, he picked up another piece of debris that covered his grille. The third caution of the race flew on lap 44 for a single car spin on the backstretch. Going down the backstretch, Johnson made contact with Mears that sent him spinning through the grass. Keselowski opted to stay out while the rest of the field opted to pit. The race restarted on lap 48. Hamlin powered ahead of Keselowski to take over the lead on lap 49. The fourth caution of the race flew with 20 laps to go for a multi-car wreck on the backstretch. Going into turn 3, Casey Kahn got turned by McMurray and slammed into the side of Allmendinger. Fourth quarter. The race restarted with 14 laps to go. Keselowski got a run on Hamlin in the tri-oval to take the lead back with 12 laps to go. The fifth caution of the race flew with 10 laps to go after Kahn lost an engine in turn 2. The race restarted with 6 laps to go. Hamlin was able to hold off charges from his teammate Matt Kenseth and Logano. The sixth caution of the race flew with 3 laps to go for a multi-car wreck on the backstretch. In a classic restrictor plate racing accordion effect, Carl Edwards got turned into the wall and a number of cars spun out. This would lead to the debut of the new overtime rules NASCAR put into play 2 days prior. Overtime. The race restarted with 2 laps to go. The field passed the overtime line and the race was official at that point. After a multi-car wreck in turn 1, Hamlin was declared the race winner. Post-race, Hamlin said after the race in Victory Lane that he's gotten better at speedway racing over the last few years, and really learned a lot from my teammates. But realistically, you can go back and look at this race a million times. And had my teammates not stuck with me at the right times, we wouldn't have been able to stay up front. Quote. After a runner-up finish, Logano said that he thought he had Hamlin if that caution didn't come out at the end. Quote. After finishing 10th, Biffle spoke on the new overtime rule, saying he thought it was okay. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to prevent people from changing the outcome of the race and make that mark back there, and that makes sense. It'll take us a little bit to get used to that, but I understand it. Quote. After finishing 11th, Danica Patrick said that she doesn't think it'll end up making a humongous difference. I mean, the likelihood of having a lot of accidents within the first corner, they're not super high. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. I don't think we'll really notice a huge difference. Quote. After finishing 13th, Martin Truex Jr. said that, in this day and age, we always judge everything on the fans' reaction. So I guess we'll wait and see what they say about it. Quote. Race results. Media. Television. Radio.